Silent letters that betray you. English is full of words where letters exist only to trick you. Wednesday has a silent D. Comfortable is not comfortable, it's comfortable. Island has a silent S. Salmon has a silent L. These silent letters exist because English kept the spelling from Old French, Latin, or Old English, while the pronunciation evolved and left the letters behind like fossils. Most learners read a word, assume every letter counts, and say it exactly as spelled. This is the single biggest reason intelligent, fluent speakers still get caught out in real conversations. Native speakers don't even notice these silent letters because they never learned the word by reading it first. They heard it thousands of times before they ever saw it spelled. This is the psychological trap. Learners study English visually, through books and subtitles, while native children absorb it audibly, through repetition and correction. That mismatch is exactly why Wednesday trips up even advanced speakers who can discuss politics or philosophy fluently, but stumble on a simple day of the week. The fix isn't memorizing rules. English spelling has too many exceptions for that. It's building a mental library of trap words and drilling them out loud specifically on purpose until the correct sound becomes automatic muscle memory instead of a spelling-based guess. Stress shift changes the entire meaning. This is the one that shocks people the most. The exact same spelling can be two completely different words depending on which syllable you stress. Dessert, a dry sandy place, versus dessert, the cake you eat after dinner. Present, a gift versus present, to show something. Record, a noun like a music record versus record, the verb to record something. Get the stress wrong and you're not just a little off. You can literally say the wrong word entirely, and native listeners will visibly pause, confused, even if every consonant and vowel is otherwise correct. This happens because English is a stress-timed language, not a syllable-timed one, meaning the rhythm and music of a sentence depends on which syllables get emphasized and which ones get swallowed. Many languages don't work this way, so speakers from syllable-timed backgrounds often say every syllable with equal weight, which instantly signals non-native to an English ear faster than almost any other mistake. The shocking part is that most language learners spend years on grammar and vocabulary and almost zero time on stress patterns, even though native listeners subconsciously use stress, not pronunciation, as their primary tool to instantly recognize words in fast-connected speech. Fixing this single habit does more for sounding natural than fixing 20 individual sounds. The schwa, English's best-kept secret. Here's something almost nobody explains clearly. The most common sound in the entire English language isn't A, E, I, O, or U. It's the schwa, that lazy little sound, and it appears in nearly every unstressed syllable in English. The word banana is actually bunanu, schwa, stress, schwa. About is about. Camera is camru, not camera. Learners who pronounce every vowel fully and clearly, the way they were taught to read, end up sounding robotic and overly precise, which is ironically what makes them sound less fluent, not more. Native speakers reduce, blend, and rush through unstressed vowels constantly, and this reduction is not lazy or incorrect English, it is correct English. Skipping the schwa is arguably the #1 reason why textbook perfect learners still don't sound native even when their grammar is flawless. This single sound alone accounts for a massive percentage of the rhythm of natural spoken English, and once a learner starts deliberately practicing schwa reduction in unstressed syllables, their accent shifts dramatically within weeks. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but mastering one small, quiet, unglamorous sound changes the entire music of how a person speaks English. French origin words wearing an English disguise. English secretly borrowed thousands of words from French after the Norman conquest, and many of them still carry French pronunciation ghosts hiding inside English spelling. Subtle has a silent B. Restaurant isn't said the way it's spelled at all. Ballet, buffet, debut, and rendezvous all keep their final consonants silent, a dead giveaway of their French roots. This creates a strange trap. Learners who study French sometimes overcorrect and add French flair to non-French words, while learners with no French exposure read these words with full English rules and get them completely wrong. The shocking part is how many normal English words fall into this category without anyone realizing it. Words people use weekly without ever questioning why the pronunciation ignores half the letters. This layer of English is essentially a hidden second language sitting inside the main one, and native speakers absorb these words the exact same way as any other word, through repetition, not logic. There's no shortcut here except direct exposure and correction, because no phonetic rule will save you. You simply have to know each word individually, which is exactly why even highly educated native speakers occasionally mispronounce rare French origin words themselves. The TH sound, the universal struggle. Almost no other language on earth has the TH sound the way English does, which is exactly why it's one of the most universally mispronounced sounds by learners worldwide, regardless of their native language. There are actually two different TH sounds, the voiced one in this, that, and mother, and the voiceless one in think, three, and bath, and most learners don't even realize these are two separate sounds, not one. Learners often substitute a D, Z, ST, or F sound instead, turning think into sink or this into dis, which can create real confusion since think and sink are two completely different words. The physical mechanics matter here. TH requires placing the tongue tip lightly between or behind the teeth, which feels unnatural and even slightly embarrassing to adult learners who never had to make this specific mouth shape before. Because it feels awkward, many learners subconsciously avoid it and default to a nearby, more comfortable sound, which becomes a permanent habit unless deliberately corrected. What's genuinely shocking is that TH mistakes persist even in advanced, highly fluent speakers for decades, simply because it's a physical habit, not a knowledge gap. You can know the rule perfectly and still say it wrong until the muscle memory is retrained through repetition. Everyday words. Natives deliberately butcher. The final and most surprising category is this. Native speakers regularly don't say the correct pronunciation of extremely common words, and that's not a mistake. It's called connected speech. Going to becomes gonna. Want to becomes wanna. Often frequently drops the T sound entirely. Ask gets compressed, height rhymes with light, not ate, despite what the spelling suggests. Learners who painstakingly pronounce every single sound perfectly, exactly as written, often sound stiff and overly formal, almost like they're reading a dictionary aloud, while real native conversation constantly blends, drops, and compresses sounds for speed and rhythm. This is genuinely shocking to most learners because it means the correct textbook pronunciation and the correct